Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that has the entire crypto community buzzing, especially for all you XRP holders out there. We're talking about the Clarity for Digital Tokens Act and why its upcoming markup in January could be the game changer we've all been waiting for. This isn't just another piece of legislation. It's potentially the key that unlocks a new era for digital assets in the United States. And XRP might just be positioned perfectly to reap the rewards. So, what exactly is this Clarity Bill? Let's break it down. For years, the crypto space has been operating in a gray area. Is a token a security, a commodity, something else entirely? This uncertainty has been a massive headache, leading to lawsuits, stifling innovation, and leaving projects like Ripple in a state of legal limbo with the SEC. The Clarity Bill aims to end this confusion. It proposes a clear, defined framework to determine when a digital asset is a security and when it's not. The goal is to provide, clarity. The bill introduces a concept of a safe harbor for network developers. This is huge. Imagine a project launching a new token. Under this proposal, they would get a grace period of 3 years. During this time, they could focus on building out their network and decentralizing it without the constant fear of the SEC breathing down their necks, accusing them of issuing an unregistered security. For these 3 years, they'd have to provide regular disclosures to the public, keeping everyone informed about their progress, token allocation, and development roadmap. It's about transparency, not punishment. Now, how does this all tie back to XRP? Well, think about Ripple's long and expensive battle with the SEC. The core of that lawsuit was the SEC's claim that XRP was, and always had been, an unregistered security. The court's decision was a mixed bag, but largely favorable for Ripple, ruling that programmatic sales of XRP on exchanges did not constitute securities transactions. This was a landmark moment. The court essentially recognized that the nature of an asset can depend on how it's sold and who it's sold to. The Clarity Bill takes this idea and wants to write it into law. It acknowledges that a project can become sufficiently decentralized over time. If, after the 3-year safe harbor, a project can prove its network is functional and not controlled by a single person or a coordinated group, its token could be classified as a commodity, not a security. This is the golden ticket. For XRP, this is monumental. Ripple has long argued that the XRP ledger is a decentralized, open-source technology that exists independently of the company. Think about the XRP ledger's history. It's been running for over a decade. It's used by a vast network of participants worldwide. Ripple, the company, is a significant player, yes, but it doesn't control the network. Validators on the ledger are operated by a diverse group of universities, exchanges, and businesses globally. This level of decentralization is exactly what the Clarity Bill is looking for. If this bill passes, XRP could be one of the first major digital assets to have a clear, legally defined status as a non-security commodity in the United States. Why is this a big deal? 2 words: institutional adoption. Big financial institutions, banks, and payment providers have been hesitant to dive into crypto, largely due to regulatory uncertainty. No major corporation wants to invest billions into an asset that could suddenly be declared an illegal security by the SEC. A clear regulatory framework removes that risk. If XRP is legally classified as a commodity, like gold or oil, it opens the floodgates for these institutions to start using it and holding it without fear. We're talking about banks using XRP for cross-border payments, asset managers including XRP in their portfolios, and a whole new wave of financial products being built on the XRP ledger. The utility that Ripple has been building for years with its on-demand liquidity service, now known as Ripple Payments, could finally be unleashed on a massive scale in the US. This isn't just speculation, it's the logical next step when regulatory barriers are removed. Now let's talk about the January markup. A markup is a key session where a congressional committee goes through a bill, line by line, debating it and proposing amendments. It is a critical step before the bill can go to the full House floor for a vote. The fact that this is scheduled for January shows that there's serious momentum behind it. There's a bipartisan push to get this done. Both sides of the aisle are recognizing that the U.S. risks falling behind in the digital asset race if it doesn't create clear rules of the road. This isn't just some fringe bill, it has significant support. Lawmakers understand that a clear framework will protect consumers while also fostering innovation and keeping the U.S. competitive on a global scale. The current approach of regulation by enforcement, where the SEC sues first and asks questions later, is simply not working. It's pushing companies and talent overseas. The Clarity Bill offers a proactive solution. So what could we see happen if the bill passes? First, the remaining legal fog around XRP would evaporate. This would likely lead to a significant reevaluation of XRP's price by the market. Investors who have been sitting on the sidelines due to regulatory risk would have a green light to jump in. Second, we could see exchanges that delisted XRP, like Coinbase in the past, not only relisting it but potentially integrating it more deeply into their services. The court ruling already prompted relistings, but this legislation would solidify XRP's position permanently. Third, and perhaps most importantly, it validates the entire thesis of XRP as a bridge currency for the global financial system. For years, this has been the vision: a fast, cheap, and scalable digital asset designed for payments. With regulatory clarity, that vision can become a reality on a much larger scale. It could pave the way for Ripple to expand its partnerships with U.S. banks and financial institutions, something that has been challenging under the shadow of the SEC lawsuit. Of course, it's important to remain level-headed. The legislative process can be slow and unpredictable. The bill will face debate, and it could be amended. There's no guarantee it will pass in its current form, or even at all. But the fact that we've reached the markup stage is the most significant progress we've seen on comprehensive crypto legislation in the United States. It's a sign that policymakers are finally getting serious. The timing is also incredibly interesting. This is all happening as the broader crypto market is showing signs of a new cycle. We have Bitcoin ETFs on the horizon, and now we have a clear path for potential regulatory clarity for altcoins. For XRP, this is a powerful combination of factors. It's a project with proven technology, a decade-long track record, a partial legal victory under its belt, and now, a potential legislative solution that seems almost tailor-made for its situation. Think about it from a competitive standpoint. If XRP gets the green light as a non-security commodity, it gains a massive advantage over other projects that are still trying to navigate the regulatory maze. It would become one of the safest major digital assets for institutions to engage with in the U.S. This isn't just about winning a lawsuit. It's about winning the entire regulatory war and establishing a foundation for long-term growth and adoption. The long-anticipated Clarity Bill is finally entering its final stretch, and the markup confirmed for January is a massive step forward. It represents a potential turning point not just for XRP, but for the entire American crypto industry. By providing a clear path for projects to achieve decentralization and be classified as commodities, it swaps confusion for confidence. For XRP, with its decade-old decentralized ledger and recent legal wins, this bill could be the final catalyst that ignites institutional adoption and solidifies its role in the future of finance. The wait has been long, but the pieces are finally falling into place. We'll be watching the developments in January very closely, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any updates. What are your thoughts on the Clarity Bill? Do you think it's the final piece of the puzzle for XRP? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.